You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
These are dark, dark days. Let's get into it, unfortunately, again, with the lead.
My boy is broken today.
Tyler picked a good week to go on vacation because that means he doesn't have to talk about this crap every day, does he? Welcome into Oilers Nation every day and into the Sports Closet Studio where you can still buy these. Oh, still not on my camera deception. You can buy these Heritage Classic jerseys. You may remember the Oilers won a hockey game in these jerseys. That was a special time in this city. So yeah, head out to Sports Closet, stay in Albert, Queensway. I don't know what to talk about. I can't believe what happened last night.
Let's just talk football today.
No, we can't because I'm a Detroit Lions fan and I can absolutely bounce right now too.
This is a rough go for you right now.
Not good. This is not good for me at all. But welcome into Oilers Nation every day. Bag Milk's here on our Star Mechanical guest line. 20 years. They've had a lot of success in 20 years.
Oh, wait. It's not Friday, but hold on.
It's Friday, so you know what that means? It's time for the Bro Down with Bag Milk. Happy to be here.
It's Thursday.
I really needed you here today.
Oh, great.
You're like 8:45 or so. So will you please join me?
I'm happy to be here.
So how you feeling?
Sad, broken, mad, annoyed, irritated, fucking furious.
It's a lot of emotions.
Broker than yesterday.
Which is crazy to think of. I had some optimism this week. I said, I was like, after they lost to Tampa Bay, I was like, hey, they're 3-1 in their last 4. They've actually been pretty good. They were unlucky against Tampa Bay, a couple of bad bounces. Wasn't their game. Look at Florida, and it's like, yeah, you know what? They're 3-2. They could have easily won that game. Broberg steps on a stick. Like, Ekholm fires a puck up Zach Hyman's backside, and then it goes in the back of the net. It's just like, okay, like, come on. Like, you've got Carolina now. Like, just believe that you can do it because you've proven that you can do it over these past 2 games. And then they go out and allow 4 goals in the first period, and the game was essentially done. What was it? There was a thing too, wasn't it 3 goals in like 2.5 minutes, something like that? Like, last night, it felt like the final dagger. Like, there was death by 1,000 cuts quotes we've already had this season. That wasn't a cut. That was a jab to the heart.
My favorite part was how it all started before the game even started.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Darnell Nurse takes one of the mush. Stuart Skinner falls down for some reason, slides into the opposition zone. Sam Cosentino's having a great time with it on Sportsnet.
Good for him. Thank goodness he got a laugh out of last night. Yeah, I forgot about this. He did not look pretty. Also, I believe the rule is now changed for wearing helmets.
Yeah,
right?
so I asked this last night because if you remember, Oilers fans, you've been around a minute, you'll remember Taylor Hall getting his head stepped on by Corey Potter.
Yes.
The Oilers then
loves getting injured.
Instituted a mandatory helmet policy that apparently lasted 6.5 seconds. Now the rule is if you came in after the 2019-2020 season, you have to wear a helmet and warm up.
Yes.
But before that is grandfathered where it's up to you.
So
I don't understand that. Like,
no, me neither.
Just put it on.
Yeah, because there was the big debate at the start of the season when obviously Connor Bedard didn't wear a helmet for his first NHL warm-up.
Illegal.
We all thought it was illegal. We thought it was illegal to everyone. Because I've never noticed Nurse not wearing one. The one that always sticks out to me of recent memory players not wearing one was Zach Kassian. He never wore a bucket in warm-ups.
That nice shining dome.
Yeah, and you knew who it was. So maybe that's why Nurse does it too, because he's also bald.
I said that's with Darnell Nurse. I get going no bucket for extra swag, for maximum swag.
Oh,
he doesn't even have hair, so there's no extra swag that can happen. And if you're an Edmonton Oiler, we all remember Taylor Hall. Like, you just put on the helmet, man. Just put on the helmet. But I mean, take a look at this. That's a hockey player right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Hockey guy. That's how my spirit feels.
I wonder how.
That's how I felt after the first period yesterday.
Went 12 rounds with the Carolina Hurricanes.
I guess we may as well talk about it. BM. So, what did you think of the first period?
What can you say?
Effortless.
Like,
it's crazy.
The standing around drives me nuts. The inattention to detail drives me nuts. The lack of back check drives me nuts. The lack of defensive boxing out. Watch some basketball. Put your elbows up. Box out. I don't know, man. It's just they are broken.
So I'll grab his name here as I talk about this quickly. But I believe it was the third goal, the one where Broberg kind of bounced out to McLeod and it deflected off McLeod and ended up in the back of the net from whoever that was. But if you look previously, a lot of people were calling out Cody Ceci on that play, and you're just talking about like lack of detail and stuff like that. So Cody Ceci, you can see it's a little bit before this, so we'll just have to wait for it to come around. But you can see him with his stick like pointing, like rim it, right there. You can see him pointing, and then Broberg loses the battle, which is nuts that he lost his battle like so easily too, and then he just gets it's just an absolute cluster. And it ends up going out and a mistake again, and it ends up in the back of your own net. And that's the lack of detail that clearly and evidently they had practiced and learned what the Carolina Hurricanes were going to do on the forecheck. And this gentleman, I can't find his name right now. He said, probably Kevin. Kevin said that to defend against the Hurricanes on the forecheck, you need to just rim the puck out hard. Clearly, Cody Ceci had read the game notes. Philip Broberg got himself in a situation that he couldn't get himself out of, and it ends up in the back of the net. And it just feels like these mental mistakes every single night are what killing the Oilers. And honestly, we're going to jump right ahead to it, but I hated the third period more than anything I've hated this season.
Why?
I hated the fact how much effort they showed, determination to actually score some goals, the fact they were actually a really, really good hockey team. Why has it taken so long for this team to show up in moments when they desperately needed to? Like, what are we, 18 games into the season now? And we're done. We're toast. Black toast. We're burnt to the core now.
You smell that?
It doesn't matter what Ken Holland's going to do next. It doesn't matter because they have to do it themselves. He can bring in every single player he wanted to, but until this team decides they actually want to play well, that was a big comment.
That is a
don't put that one on the screen.
That one is a. I mean, we've got a guy with some issues here.
If you want to read it, go to the Facebook. You can you can read that comment for yourself. But Liam, I agree, man. Like the third period is classic Edmonton Oilers because 40 minutes of dog shit, nuts. And then 20 minutes of that's the team that I want to see. They were hungry for the puck. They were winning battles. They were shooting the puck on net, throwing it low, getting it on net. You can't score if you don't shoot the puck. Yeah. Everything was going the right way. Jamal Mayers at the end in the third period said, win or lose, they found something here. This is the formula. It's just loser talk once again coming from my mouth. But like you saw it in the third there, that they have the willingness and the ability to play that type of way, the way they should, winning battles. And the fact it's such a cliche of 60 minutes, but
I wrote about
it's a long time, evidently.
3 key things is my post-game kind of series I've been doing all season. And I said, this game was so weird because in the first period, it was basically done before it was over.
Oh,
the Oilers were down by 3 goals with what, like 12 minutes in or something like that. And then you get the late goal in the second period from Ekholm. Nice play, shorthanded goal.
Yeah.
Hyman early in the third period. And I tweeted out, don't you tease me.
I know. I had a GIF as well. Don't give me hope.
And they did. They teased me.
Yes.
It's like Aaron said, you play like that for 60 minutes, you're going to win a lot of hockey games. But when you do it for 20, when you're down by 4, what are we doing here?
Shocker.
And that level of intensity is obviously difficult to keep up for an entire game. But you can take it down a slight notch and still have that level of aggression in your game. A lot of people in the Finning Cat YouTube chat right now, who, by the way, Finning Cat, great Black Friday sales coming up. So go check
out
that out.
That QR code on the top of your screen.
Right there. No.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Go check that out. You scan it on your phone. There you go. You can do it while you listen to the show. Dacky was in and said, hear me out. The leadership needs to sit down with the younger guys and try and communicate more effectively. Davin said, we were good in the third though, ? Canes were up and didn't give a crap. I think that's a fair argument, but also the Oilers did give it to them in the third period quite a bit right off the bat, and there was a level of determination. So I think it goes both ways. I don't think the Canes are just going to roll over and die and just think, oh, well, they're not going to come back and score 4 goals. The Oilers do have a lethal offense when it's rolling, which it was somewhat in the third period. They hit the post as well right at the start, didn't they? And
Nuge hit a crossbar.
Nuge hit a bar, and it's like they had their chances, but
both can be true. That they may have taken their foot off the pedal and we turned it up. Both can be true. And I think that is what happened.
There's a lot of guys gripping the stick, like white knuckling it right now.
There was a chance. Ryan McLeod, to his credit, although I traded him yesterday, was great on that shorthanded goal to go back and win back the puck and then get the puck over to Ekholm. That was great. But I think it would have been it was over the third or the first, whatever it was. He was coming right through the middle, ton of speed, right in the slot, pushes himself out wide. The shot was there to take, and for whatever reason, he just forced himself wide. There was also Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at the start of the game, passed it over to Derek Ryan on that shorthanded chance.
Oh, 100%.
Where there was the no call when Derek Ryan
arguably a couple on there.
Yeah, Derek Ryan got hooked and then also got whacked in the face, and it's just like
there's a lot of guys
from the start.
Yeah,
there's a lot of guys that just have no confidence right now. You can tell. Like last season, Nuge probably buries that chance.
He at least shoots.
Yeah. So now he's there. There's so many guys, and it's not just Nuge, that are in their own head. Like Ryan McLeod just looks like a fast guy right now. And that sucks because I had him down for 20 goals this year. And he's being outscored by Vinny Desharnais in terms of goals. So like we need some lucky breaks here. We need people to have one just bounce in off their ass or something. Like I don't know what's going on, but
Zach Hyman, though.
Zach Hyman.
As consistent as they come.
He's
Kane. You know, there's guys that are at least chipping in with some offense that are supposed to. Connor had 4 goals in his last 5 now. So he looks more like Connor than he had earlier in the season.
He's very engaged in the third period. He was man determined. Braden Cassian home in the Finning Cat YouTube chat said, how about the reffing in that game? Don't get me wrong. The boys sucked most of the game, but the reffing was pretty wild. No? What did you think of the reffing?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're so inconsistent on what gets called. Like I think about specifically, we mentioned Connor being engaged in the third period, that penalty on Pesci.
Oh my goodness.
That same thing was not called like 30 seconds earlier.
Yeah. Well, and that was the
and
one.
Pesci hit the ground so fucking easily. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, Jack Michaels had my head in an absolute spinner during that moment because he was like, "Oh, there's a delay penalty." Wait, there's a graphic coming down. It's like, "Oh, they pulled the goalie," and now the Oilers are going on the PK. It's like, what is happening? I think the one people want to talk about the most so was when Chatfield slew-footed McDavid behind the net. That's a call. You might might not want to call it a slew-foot, but it's definitely a trip.
Was that the one that Jarvis then went down?
And
the
then
ice
went down the ice, snuck behind Vincent Deane somehow, and got it
somehow.
Well, no, it's not somehow. Is it like so? There's the penalty, and then I cannot believe this. How easily he just walked right through. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like there's a lack of awareness on the back. Like, there's no back check there. Again, Stu needs to save that. There's so many things wrong with that play, but it starts with the missed call. Like, do your job, and we get saved a goal there. You know?
What do you think of Stu? He's in the starters crease for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it? Like it wasn't his fault, but again, he could have stopped one.
Listen, I'm not saying all 4 on 13 shots were his fault.
Yeah.
There was some bad luck in there. There were some weird bounces in there, but ultimately it's his problem.
Yeah.
And when you finish with, what was it, like a 680 or something like that?
667.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Like what do you do with that?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm saying it today too. Thing is like, okay, going through the goals, the fourth one is probably the one he wants back the most.
100%.
The other ones were all like backdoor tap-ins.
Yeah, so again, not his fault necessarily, but certainly his problem.
Yeah,
I thought Calvin Pickard played really well in relief. The one goal he did allow is one that he has to stop, but
also every single Oiler, literally every single one of them was stood around Martin Natchez.
Yeah.
Can you pull up that? That was the 5th goal, wasn't it? It's just like, how is this happening? Like how, again, because this happened just the other day in San Jose when nobody wants to pick up that guy in the slot. You can see all 5 Oilers in this shot.
You're going to hate it when I pause it.
Yeah, please do. Like how does that go in? How does that go in?
that is a 1-on-4 chance, and the 4 lost.
And he gets like his own rebound too in the matter, and he just gets it home. Liam, last night, I was losing it during this one. I was throwing shit around my house. How can 4, 5, whatever, 4 grown men hockey players right there, nobody communicate to each other? If you're not going to take him, you tell somebody else and say, hey, he's right there. You break his stick in half when he gets the
take
rebound.
penalty
Like,
if you
I
have
don't
to.
care.
Can you,
gotta do
sorry,
something.
can you go back and just pause it again?
Yeah.
This is the top line. Leon Draisaitl was -4 last night. And I'm not calling him out on this, but it's like, again, like you're on the ice for this. Like he moves because he knows that's his guy, but he's so slow. Like people are calling out CC in the chat. It's like, well, CC has a guy there on the back that he has to monitor as well. This is up to a forward to make a decision to help the goaltender out here. There's 3 forwards right there, and there's 2 Carolina defensemen, forwards, sorry, behind the goal line.
If I'm Leon,
That's a forwards play. That's a
and
forwards
if
man.
I'm Leon and I look up there, I go, who's the only person who can hurt me right now? It's probably that guy in front of the net, as there's no one behind him or around him. I know it's easier said than done. Like I know that.
Yeah.
But man, this cannot happen in the National Hockey League where you're never going to win games.
The second period was equally as frustrating on a different level compared to the third. They had 4 shots in the second period.
Yeah, like that's what drives me nuts. Where's the urgency until the third? Like I don't get it.
I don't get it at all. I don't know why this team has just decided the second period doesn't exist to them. Like every single game, it feels like they're getting absolutely torched.
The first didn't exist either.
But usually we score at least 1 or 2 goals in the first, and then the back half of the first is what lets us down.
Oh
It's
my
like
Lord.
the second period, it's just like, do you guys realize like this is a crucial time in the game? Because it happens to you every single night.
Yeah. Come on.
Those 20 minutes don't matter. Those don't matter.
It is just wild. I want to talk about as you can see there, what to do next. But before we get to that, I got to tell you about our new friends, Charm Diamond Centers. Charm Diamond Centers is proudly Canadian owned and operated since 1972 with more than 85 locations across the country. The holidays are coming, people, and it's a perfect time to check out a large selection of Canadian lab-grown diamonds, BM.
I love diamonds.
Me too. Diamonds are girls.
I'm wearing a bunch right now. You just can't see it.
He has diamond sunglasses on like Elton John.
Bag Milk has grills in his mouth.
That's right.
Now, if you guys could see.
By Paul Wall.
For more information, go to charmcenters.ca.
All right, gang, listen up. It's time to learn the pro pose. Coach?
Bend and snap.
Beautiful form. Nice arm extension. Facial expression, I could use some work. All right, let's see it. The pro pose. What's that guy doing?
I think that's the bend and snap.
That's a whole different deal. Charm, home of the pro pose.
Yeah. Dylan Playfair.
Yeah, special cameo right
Do
there.
you remember he was on the Sportsnet broadcast? Because obviously Jim Playfair is his dad.
Was and is.
Yes, both are true. His dad's the guy that threw all the sticks, right? coach
Yeah,
that
he was.
freaked out.
Yeah, I did
He
the
was,
little,
yeah.
the little strip tease there.
Yeah, that was an
I love it.
all-time.
He was also with the Oilers for a while.
There goes Zach. Those notes don't have to look back at
I
those
like that
anymore.
Liam still does the handwritten notes as he has a computer. Right.
I
in front of him.
gotta. Well, my computer's a bit slow. You can't trust technology. I'm telling you.
I also like handwritten notes, to be fair. Like I'm a big notepad guy, big notebook guy.
Yeah, you
I have a
gotta
whiteboard
get your
guy
ideas down.
at home.
So-
I have a whiteboard in my office.
I wrote my English diploma on paper. My essay. I wrote it out. I
Really?
couldn't type fast
Is
enough.
that just called a diploma in England?
Yes.
Nice bag move.
Yeah, I wrote it out because I couldn't type quick enough, and I knew I didn't have enough time, so I just I wrote it all down. Do you know a good place actually would have been to watch a game last night? Would have been Greta.
Yeah, because I could have
Oh,
just gone to play Mario Kart and not watch the hockey
Didn't
game.
have to watch it anymore. That would have been nice. You could have shot some hoops. The football game Tyler likes.
Mhm.
You could have
Skee
tested
ball.
your left arm,
skee ball.
your right arm, and go grab a drink. Grab
Yep.
a Royal, maybe.
I could have just been Bowser, cruising around, bumping people off the track.
We all got crew cards at Greta too. So
Yes,
we got
we
a little
do.
discount, little
we
little
do.
something, something.
Before we move on, unfortunately, I have to go back to the game one more time.
Oh,
I'm just reading
God.
my notes here. I got one other thing. BM, I need your Blue Cross moment of the game.
It was over.
Yeah, I think when he's over is a good one.
I'll give you a real answer.
Okay.
Aaron mentioned a little earlier, Zach Hyman, since the hat trick in Seattle, I guess that would have been a weekend ago, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
So
all
Zach
about.
Hyman has been one of the most consistent forwards over the last 2 weeks. He's scoring goals. He took the team lead in goals last night with his 9th. So if I'm going to make a memory, I'd like more of the ones that Zach Hyman is giving me right now and less of what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, he's a guy that's out there and you're noticing almost every night, right? I think the memory I'll go with, and it's one that gave me some good flashbacks, was seeing Connor McDavid fly around the ice in the 3rd period, knowing that he looks to be getting back to full strength here, and hopefully that can start helping turn this team in a positive direction, as tough as that was to get out. But Connor McDavid, seeing him fly around the ice, that backhand pass to Hyman on the 3rd goal there, where he's like basically on his side, was incredible play.
I think for me, my moments of the game is going to be when Calvin Pickard made that crazy toe save.
Oh yeah,
right
Cross ice, because he kept us in that. Like right when I saw that one, it was, oh shit, we're in this one. We can do something. Obviously, that didn't come true, but guys, I might start Calvin Pickard in the next game. He just looks like a competent, good enough goaltender, which is what we always say. I just need good enough goaltending. He made the saves he needed to make. Sure, probably one of them you could have not had, but
yeah,
it's better than Stuart Skinner right now. So that's where I sign off.
I kind of thought about Pickard as well. I think he's had 2 pretty good games, but
'Cause also
you got to go back to Skinner, I think. Too.
I made
do,
a
but,
poll
like,
last night. People voted they wanted Pickard.
It's like he's playing loose at least right now.
Yeah,
He's kind of coming in there. He goes, listen, I got no expectations on me. Nobody expects anything from me. And he had a 929 last night.
something like that. Yeah.
So again, I know that one goal he allowed is probably one that you'd want him to stop, but 929 is so beautiful compared to a 680, 667. And again,
I can't believe I feel confident with him in the net.
I don't feel confident at all with anything.
Ryan Fancy might be our best goalie. It's just not.
Bring
good.
back Jack? Question mark? No.
No, not yet. He needs to keep rolling. Although
no.
shout out to Jack, the game the other night against Henderson Silver Knights. Raphael Lavoie, what a goal!
Yeah.
Get that guy on the PP1.
Well, it was
Imagine
interesting.
that guy could do up with the big club. Liam? Holy.
It was interesting to hear that like Power Play 1 had a pregame meeting. Like they said that on the broadcast.
And then they
Leon
scored right
organized a
away,
meeting. Then they scored early on the first chance. So you go, okay. So one thing I won't buy is people, that are saying that the players don't care. 'Cause
Me
of course
neither.
they care.
Yeah.
How many close-ups of Connor McDavid's face did we have last night? And the look of pure fury on him, that guy cares.
Yeah, and I think someone put it out there too, because all you see on Twitter right now, and somewhat granted, I guess, but it's just when is McDavid's trade request? When's Leon gonna leave? Like, where are they going? You see an edit in them in every single. Waz told me you saw McDavid in a Hartford Whalers edited jersey
Perfect.
the other day. So I still don't think those guys are gonna leave. I just think a lot of things need to turn around. And also, McDavid still has 2 years left.
I'm not feeling as confident myself. But at the same point,
it's down to them too.
until they say no,
Yeah.
then it's all speculation. But like at the same point, if I was a fan of another team,
Yeah, 100%. And I try to ignore it by muting.
Yeah, and this
everybody.
is exactly what you're talking about. I saw this 800 times last night.
yeah,
Just
like look at him. That's a guy that cares. He's obviously pissed off. We saw the one where they're fist bumping each other. He and Leon on the bench. It's just pure disaster. Like those guys care and it hurts. And the one thing I won't accept is people saying that they don't or that they've given up. Like,
Yeah,
of course
it's
not.
true. It's not true. So,
But what I would say is that there's some kind of black cloud hanging over this team right now, and it is pouring rain, and it will not give up.
it's getting damp out there, folks. It's
Yep.
getting damp. So I guess that kind of sways right into our next conversation. What now? So I have 3 questions written down on my paper here, and we'll review all of them. Do you still trade the first round pick?
Nope.
nope, absolutely
wouldn't
not.
either.
Not this one. Next
No.
year for sure.
Yeah.
Next 2 years?
This one's
Dump 'em.
top 5 right now. What are we?
Yeah,
at?
this one is a
Might be
lottery
top,
pick.
top 3 pick. Right
So like this year, absolutely not. Next year, year after, see ya. Bye. So long. We need to turn it around. And if the plan is to punt this year, first of all, I feel really bad for Chris Noblock.
I do too, because I actually think he's doing a good job.
He walked into a situation that was a disaster. I'm not going to begrudge the guy for taking a dream job, coaching in the National Hockey League.
With Connor McDavid.
It was not hit. Like I would have said yes to the exact same opportunity, but where his situation is wild is that obviously the team's a disaster. The fan base still loves the last coach. That is a really greasy spot to be in. And I just feel for the guy.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to say all the right things in his post game. And he goes, man, the guys are just gripping the stick. It's like, yeah, man, we know that.
I think I saw it was your tweet. What do you think Woody's doing right now?
He's celebrating. Come on, man. He's
in
sleeping
Aruba?
in. He's sleeping in. He's having cocktails, nice dinners, maybe a charcuterie board for lunch.
Little red wine lifestyle.
Come on.
So this was from Tony Bra today at the Oilers practice. Noblock's attention to detail on full display. During a drill to warm up and get things started, Noblock noticed a player go offside over the blue line. Whistle goes, asks the group to start over with direct instructions. Set a tone early, hard practice so far. I like that a lot because this team's attention to detail doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like every single night you see stupid crap that's going down with this team. It's like, you were in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago with this same core of players. The culture should be there that this happens, that you can get past all this. You look at the Boston Bruins. Nobody had them in the playoffs last year. They set an NHL record. Nobody had them in the playoffs this year. They've lost one regular season game. Colorado do it every year. Vegas have this culture. The Oilers can't find their identity at all compared to the other elite teams in this league. Like Carolina, yes, we mock them for not having these stars, but every single year they have a very successful regular season and then evidently just drop in the playoffs. But at least they get there to give themselves a chance.
I'm getting to the point where I feel like the boys need let's just go have fun.
Yeah.
Go
I
play.
said they have to go to a club and just go get absolutely mangled together.
Go play
Not
some
think about
hockey.
anything. Yeah.
Have fun. You guys are way out of it. The pressure that they're putting on themselves, the pressure from the market, the pressure from the media, just like we got to get this off the shoulders a little bit. Go out and get piled up.
Yeah.
Maybe commit a crime together. A heist, rob a casino.
Break and enter somewhere, just kick a door in.
You know,
That's a good thing.
listen, I've always had this dream. I've had this plan, and I'm going to pass it along to the Oilers and to the people in the chat right now, where you have all of the boys that are in coveralls with fake purchase orders, and you walk into a hotel and you go, I'm here to fix the ice maker. And you flash the fake purchase order and they go, oh, I didn't know there was a problem with the ice maker. And then there they are rolling it out the front door. And what do they have? An ice maker for the party we're talking about. It's a heist. They got that ice maker out of there. Now they've got it for the party. Now they're feeling good about themselves. They can rally around it.
Yeah.
If you listen to the Real Life podcast and you know the story of Jay's Ohtani jersey, I'm not going to go over it again, but it's the same kind of thing. And what happened with us that night? We rallied. We had the best time.
Did the Angels win?
They did not.
Oh.
But I'm not allowed to play.
Stealing an ice maker for a party is such a good idea.
I'm telling you,
that's
you walk
fun
in
for the whole family. Right?
You walk in coveralls with a fake purchase order,
Responsible.
roll that thing out the front door. No one's going to stop you. Maybe carry a ladder under your arm.
Yeah.
You know,
Here's my second question.
go ahead.
So,
We're not into committing crimes then.
well, I mean,
Whoa.
people in the chat are really into it.
Right.
They, Zaki said they should host a fight club. Might
Yes.
not be a bad idea.
Hey.
Either.
Listen,
Don't talk about it.
Within their
talk
own
about it.
team, he said.
I tweeted this last night. Like, I'm half joking, but I'm kind of not. Like, if Leon shed the mitts right now,
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
are you telling me that wouldn't get the boys fired up?
It would definitely do
If Connor
something.
did it, I'm not saying I
Maybe a
want it
Nuge
to
fight.
happen. Like last night would have been a perfect time for a Nuge fight, where he just grabs Sebastian Aho and fills his face, whether he wants to or not.
Another positive, somewhat out of this. I shouldn't say another because it's very few. When the Colorado Avalanche really, really bad that one year and then got Kale McCaw,
Yep.
they kept the core together. They kept the coach. Like, it's a hiccup in the road. I think this team is still somewhat good. They just got to figure it out. I don't know. Next
Figure it out
question.
next year.
Next question. Do they still need a goalie?
Of course.
Do they though?
Well, do they not?
I'm sitting here wondering, do they not? Because there's so much going wrong in front of them. I wonder what bringing in a new goalie would even do.
I just feel like somebody who's playing loose, somebody who's playing with some confidence coming in just to stop pucks.
That would definitely help. I think you just keep Pickard around then. Just keep Pickard
I'm
around.
good with that too.
And then I think you got to address so many other things in front of the goalie before you even get there. Like I'm just watching the game last night and we reviewed it already, but like Stu's not stopping the first. I don't think any goalie in the league stopping the first. It's a wide open cage.
No.
The second one is a 2-on-1, which the guy fanned on and still managed to score on. The third one is what was the third one?
Teravainen. The Broberg one behind the net.
The Broberg one. Yeah. So
Soft D.
That's a tap in. The fourth one is probably the one you want to stop, or also
he needs to stop that.
But you're also one-on-one with a player too. Like you need that save, but also you've just allowed 3. So in this scenario, it's like, how can you even be mad at this guy? I just wonder, like, how about they tighten things up in front of the goalie first, get an actual system in play, and then you go and get your goalie.
I think that like you're right.
Yeah.
But I think that to get loose or like tighten it up in the D, they need to loosen up what's going on between their ears, because there's just like they are so tense right now. They're playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win.
Riley said, disagree, Liam. The logic of goalie isn't the only problem, so let's not solve any problems. Doesn't help. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's problems in front which need to be addressed before you even bother with the goalie. Like, what's the point?
And like, is Peter Mrazek gonna come in here and magically?
And that's the thing. Like,
flip this around.
Frank had an article yesterday, and the number one guy on his list was James Reimer,
which he's doing fine in Detroit.
He's
but
a
like,
good goalie.
He's fine.
He's a backup.
Yeah,
that's all he is. And I'm just wondering, like, look at that, James Reimer. Like, all those numbers are good. Mackenzie Blackwood would probably come in and do a good job. I actually think all those goalies would come in and do a good job. But the others defensively are so bad that it might not even matter. So you're just wasting assets for what? When you could just play Pickard and
Question.
make saves. Yep.
We got Coffee on the bench.
Can he play?
1, can he play?
Get out there, pal.
2, is it time to get Grand Fuhr on the bench?
Hey,
maybe Mark Messier, we rally the troops, we get them all back there, and all of them are wearing all of their rings on one hand. Yes. Just so you know. So you know.
We go even harder into the old boys club.
Listen,
hey,
it's our only choice now. We got to get weird.
I'm fresh out of options.
Glenn Anderson is the new general manager for the Powell River, whatever they're called, Kings, I think.
Now he's the new general manager of the Edmonton Oilers.
We might need a new general manager. So I guess to end this little bit of a topic here, what would your shopping list be if you had to pick 3 positions? Or what would you, let's say, call it to-do list, not a shopping list.
So 1, I think going back to last summer, I'm not happy with the defensive makeup.
Me neither.
I'm going to say, like, I know a lot of people are pointing at Evan Bouchard right now, and I understand it because of the defensive gaps, but clearly he's an elite offensive defenseman.
Yes.
Right? But the best option for him is to limit his 5-on-5 playing minutes and then bump him up more on power play if it's possible. However, your options of who you give those minutes to are so limited. You're not going to give more to Vincent Desharnais,
who doesn't deserve them either.
Like, Cody Ceci has been the best right-handed defenseman just like overall in terms of defending.
I feel like he's being a bit underappreciated.
I agree 100%.
He's having a pretty good
But
season.
when your right side is Bouchard, Ceci, Desharnais, your options are kind of limited. We need to upgrade that right side.
And then
somehow.
yesterday it was Kulak up there who got moved up to the right side. And Liam, it sucks to say, he did not have a good game. All.
Didn't have a good game.
That
you got to have people properly slotted on D. That's number 1 on my shopping list. Can you make it happen? I don't think so, because the reality is, unfortunately, every other team is going to throw grenades at us. They're not throwing life vests.
And we knew this all summer, that right D, right shot, right D defenseman, that's going to be the thing we need. They do not grow off trees. That's why we had to get a Matthias Ekholm last year. What do you guys think of Ekholm?
He's starting to play better. Because like he obviously missed all of training camp in the preseason. That
looks slow.
Puts the boots are a little slow.
He is slow.
But like he is looking more like Matthias Ekholm, which is good. But again, okay, like you get a passable grade amongst a crew full of morons. Like it is what it is.
It's so true.
He's less moronic than the other morons.
Yeah, like, and I'm just salty today, really. But like, ultimately, going back to your question, the shopping list is you got to find upgrades on D.
Yeah.
You got to find an upgrade in goal. can you do that? I don't know, because I guarantee if we were to listen to Ken Holland's phone, even if he's allowed to answer it, if we were listening in, people would probably throw like the worst trade options at him. It's like, yeah, we'll give you James Reimer, but you got to give us Evan Bouchard back or something. And you're like, well, no. They're like, nah, that's too lucky. Hang up the phone.
It's getting to the point where they have to change their approach, it feels like, to these phone calls. Like they need to almost turn into retoolers and just adjust and just like you can do that.
God, we sound like the Vancouver Canucks. Oh God.
I don't like that.
They did retool.
They did. And you know what?
But now you look at, so like, it's interesting you mentioned the Canucks, because right now they're starting to struggle a little bit, because you see the numbers that were sky high starting to normalize a little bit, whereas the Oilers are ground level low, and none of those are coming up. It's wild.
Yesterday on the panel in the first intermission, it was Gazdick and I forget who the other guy is there, but they were talking. He was baffled, being like, I have never seen anything like this in my life. To before the game starts, to the game starts. The first goal goes off 2 sets of legs.
Yeah.
And Darnell's face breaks. Stuart Skinner does whatever that was at that. Like it's insane. It is crazy. I've never seen it.
They're just playing so tight. I think like if I'm Chris Noblock, I just go, you know what, boys? Who gives a fuck what happens on Friday? Go and have some fun. You're playing a legend. Watch him.
Yeah,
Obi's very good at hockey and has been for a long time, but you're playing against a legend. Go and enjoy it. Have some fun. Otherwise, these guys are just so tight that it's just, they're in their own head from the time the puck drops until the final buzzer goes, or in case last night, it's too late to make a difference.
Yeah. Before we move on to my final question, we got to talk about the Pack the Nation truck.
That's
for the
right.
food bank drive presented by Sherwood Ford the Giant. Food banks in Edmonton and surrounding areas are more in need than ever, especially with the holidays just around the corner. So basically you can go and donate some food to a bunch of our sponsors. You can go into places. There's Sherwood Ford, obviously in Sherwood Park, Will Hawk Beef Jerky in Leduc. I'm sure you could probably even go into West Ed and maybe help out there. Maybe I shouldn't put that out there, but either way.
That's on the fine print, Liam. Just stay on track.
I'm just trying to think how we can just get this moving as much as we can to get as much food as we can. Sports Closet, St. Albert Mall, Sherwood Park Mall, Greta, obviously downtown, and also Dog Patch and Bread and Butter.
That's
here.
right.
So
Drop right below me.
Even if it's
right
a
now.
can of soup, whatever it is, everything matters. So you want to get on that? As like I said.
And we
Sherwood
talked
Ford.
yesterday.
Sorry.
We're going to pack the Nation truck.
Yes.
It's Tyler's truck. Come up with some ideas of funny things I can leave inside of Tyler's truck that he will not notice until like a month from now. And then he's like, how did this get in here? And then I show him this very clip, and everybody in the chat helped me out. Think of something funny and a little bit smelly.
So that's Sherwood Ford, Will Hawk Beef Jerky in Leduc, Sports Closet in St. Albert and Sherwood Park Mall, Greta, Yeg, Dog Patch and Bread and Butter. I'm going to bring some soup.
Yeah, I think this is, the Edmonton Food Bank, we're going into the season where they really need some help. So it's important that we've got some boxes set up. And I think it's important for all of us that we try and help. If you don't have non-perishables, also feel free to make a donation right through the website. The Edmonton Food Bank can make dollars stretch a lot further than just you and I can at a grocery store. So that's another option for you if you're not around the city and you still want to help.
There you go. Multiple options to help to a good cause. My last question. Unfortunately, it's not going to be good for this man. Ken Holland's future. Should they just boot his ass right now?
Yeah.
I think they should
Boot
too.
him.
I said this when they
What are we
fired
doing?
Woodcroft. What is the point? Jeff Jackson came in here and he said, we are going to be the best organization in every single department. Is it fair to say we haven't seen that at all? And you could ironically say he fired the best coach in the NHL?
Well, that's the
Right?
thing where I'm having a hard
Fair.
time. And again, go back to my 3 key things article on Oilersnation.com. Just, I'm having a hard time trusting the management group to get us out of the mess they've created, given that their first play on the season to fire Woody has not worked. And again, I'm not taking shots at Chris Noblock at all. I'm Team Nobby. I'm in. I'm not looking
I am
back
too.
too much, but ultimately the first choice they made on the season has been a bad one. So why should I, as an Oilers fan, or both of you, or everybody in the chat, feel like, yeah, these guys can fix this out. They can sort it out. No problem. Ken Holland specifically, he's been here 5 years. He's collected $25 million in salary. Well, 24 and change, because obviously this year's not done, but he's collected $25 million in salary. And a lot of the issues on the ice are because of his mismanagement of the cap, albeit flat. I understand that.
Everyone else,
but like everybody else did it. Colorado did it.
Tampa.
Vegas did it. Tampa did it. So here's the thing: like, you shave off $3 million off Darnell Nurse's contract. And again, I'm not going to hang on Nurse. I actually think that he's been very good for us, generally speaking, most of the year. But an extra $3 million to put somewhere else on the defense, that'd go a long way right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. I have no belief that this management team is going to do anything. And people were saying when Woodcroft was fired that it was like, well, Holland can be on the phones and use his connections. You have got to be kidding me. If you don't think the next GM, whoever it may be, also wouldn't get the same phone book, I don't care what Ken Holland Connections has.
Fine. Okay.
They can call teams around the league still.
And like Jeff Jackson, you were a super agent. You have everybody's numbers yourself.
There's no excuse for Holland to be here anymore.
If that's the criteria for the job, I will just start sleuthing and hacking, and I'll get everybody's phone numbers.
It's ridiculous. I can call people. I call people every day.
I heard it yesterday.
I'll straight up steal Saravalli's phone. He's got them all in there.
Maybe Frank could be a GM.
Should Frank be the GM?
I just think it's so ironic again that Jeff Jackson came in here and said, we're going to be the best in everything. It's okay. You came in and you hired that new analytics guy. Well, you haven't used it yet. You fired Jay Woodcroft, who had the best win percentage this team has ever had from a coach.
Jeremy Koopel's gone.
Jeremy Koopel's gone. Your power play is horrendous most nights.
Which is weird, though.
Which is weird. It is weird. Your team has gone from one of the best in the league to 31st. Almost everything Jeff Jackson has touched, and I'm not blaming him, has gone this way. And nothing is going this way. And I don't think it's his fault, because he can only do so much.
Certainly his problem.
But it is definitely his problem. And what is he going to do? Like, what are you going to do, Jeff Jackson? You come in here and you sit in that press conference and you barely mutter a word after you just fired a coach everybody loved. Ken Holland would have never in a million years hired Paul Coffey. Never, ever. That was not.
I don't think he would have fired Woodcroft.
I don't think he would have either.
He's fired one coach during the season, and that was Dave Tippett, and that happened in February.
Do you think we'd be in a different position with Woodcroft right now? Do you think this team is just what
I don't know that we'd be in a different position, but they've already played that card. You can't play that card again. Like, it's on the table. Like, what are you going to do? Fire Chris Noblock now? You can't.
So this is for me, right? Is I got trouble thinking. I'm like, so this regime, these executives decided that, okay, this wasn't working. So this was their fix. This was their call. I mean, we're only a couple games after. I can clearly see that. I don't think coaching was the problem. It's guys on the ice. So now the executives are going to have to fix their attempted fix. And I had no confidence in the initial fix. And now I'm supposed to believe that they can fix that fix. This is getting out of control here.
There was another thing that drove me a little bit nuts the other day. So Chris Noblock was brought in because Jeff Jackson had a relationship with him or whatever, right? Going back to junior, he had a bunch of his clients. Now, next thing you know, Dave Gagne's reportedly in the running to be the next GM. It's like, no, Jeff Jackson, you cannot just hire your friends for every position you want them to be in. There needs to be a process to this, and obviously we're getting ahead of it a little bit with Dave Gagne. I'm sure there will be an interview process. But if ultimately he's the GM, I think that is a huge mistake too. I don't know anything about this guy, but there needs to be guys in positions who can execute on things.
It's going to make the Sam Gagne extension easier.
Oh my goodness.
He'll take a team friendly.
Like we've sat here and complained for years about the old boys club. Is this just not the equivalent without the name?
Yeah, of course.
Of Jeff Jackson just picking these friends wherever they need to go.
But that's ultimately also a problem with firing Ken Holland right now, is the best pool of available general managers aren't going to be around until the season's over. So you could just stick Keith Gretzky back in that chair. He's done it before.
Yeah.
Is that the move? I don't personally believe so, but ultimately I think that firing Ken Holland needs to happen, even just for the fan base. Like,
I think so too.
Man, it's grim, but like ultimately you can't find a replacement until everyone's available. Teams are just not going to let you talk to their people right now.
Yeah, and I guess that's the flip side of it, isn't it? And ultimately probably why they haven't got rid of Ken Holland yet. But Either way, we
I
all
keep holding
know
out
he's
hope
not here.
that he's going to make a sick trade deadline deal like last year. And like, okay, we'll keep him around for that. And then I'm like, why? We don't need a trade deadline deal right now.
Do you know what?
It just
irritates me the most about these deadline deals. And in the moment, they're great. And I'm not taking it away from Holland. I think relatively he has done a good job making trades. But I feel like a lot of teams, you look at Tampa Bay and they go out and get a Brandon Hagel midseason, and they go and get a Tanner Jeannot. They are adding to already their strong group because they've been able to fill the holes in the offseason. Now they're just getting stronger. Ken Holland every single year fills holes. He doesn't make the team stronger. Does that make sense?
Group.
Yeah.
Same group. Like his
Same
big
thing.
move was Connor Brown this year. And unfortunately, Connor Brown hasn't done anything.
Which sucks. He's on the skating on the second line today.
Okay.
Does he have 0 points this season?
Yeah. It's, I mean, that's a $4 million whiff. And unfortunately, Connor Brown didn't play last year. So on our part, it was probably unreasonable to expect that he'd walk in here and contribute from the jump. That's a lot of time to miss, especially in the best league on earth. But man, like that's $4 million that now you look at it today on the 23rd of November and you go, might as well have lit it on fire.
Oh, golly. Well, let's turn this into a positive.
It's a sad day. It's a bad day.
Let's talk about our generous guy of the week, brought to you by Crown Royal.
Ding dong.
Ding dong, Crown Royal. The generous guy. Generosity lives in the small things. Aaron, do you have a generous guy for this week? I can jump in quickly.
Yeah, I got one too.
I wasn't done yet. You go first. You go first, Bagman.
The generous guy, generous gal of the week, without question, is Oilers fans. Because no matter what's going on the ice, you can see it on Twitter, you can see it in the chat right now for this show, they're still engaged in a team that is giving them nothing. Mm-hmm. And we all thought they were going to be cup contenders this year, or at least pretty fucking good. So to have it go this way and have everybody still in the mix, still watching the show, still chiming in on the chat, all of you are the stars here. Yeah. All of you are the generous guys and gals. And without you, none of it works, including the team on the ice. So all of you deserve a lot of credit for sticking this through.
Yeah, that's fair. Mainlander Tim says
that was beautiful.
Skinner is a generous guy, giving away goals.
Well, of course.
I give my generous guy to Calvin Pickard. Hadn't played in the NHL since 2021. Came in against Florida and gave the Oilers a great opportunity to win that hockey game. I think last night, too, he came in and gave the Oilers a chance to at least crawl them way back into the game. So Calvin Pickard, my generous guy. Aaron, what do you got?
I've been nominated by two here in the chat. Shout out Davin. I like from Dacky. Generous guy is Aaron. He grinds harder than anyone in Oilers media and hasn't even had to make an apology video yet. It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. My generous guy, I'm going to go Nation Dan because he came and he joined us on the show the other day and he did such a good job. Everybody here in the chat, they loved him. So I'm bringing him on pre-gaming tomorrow at 12 o'clock during the day. Let's get some more Dan. Let's get some more Dan takes. He's got good, clear, concise takes. And I just need fresh energy because I need to do something different. I gotta start just pounding Crown Royal on these shows to do something different. Tomorrow's a middle of the day game, so who knows? We'll see.
There you go. Crown Royal, generous guy. Generosity lives in the small things. It doesn't need money or an audience or even acknowledgement. It just needs a few good people. Crown Royal, crown everything.
You won't find any grand gestures or flashy displays of generosity here. $1 million donations or names on a hospital ring. That's not the only way generosity lives. It doesn't need money or an audience or even acknowledgement. It just needs good people to be good to people. There's no one way to be generous. There are endless ways. And there's a crown for every one of them.
There you have it.
Generous.
Crown Royal, be generous, everybody. Black Friday sale. Blackout collection at Nation Gear again.
Limited edition.
Limited edition.
There's a finite number of shirts, tees, toques on sale. This is one of those ones where if you wait, if you delay, if you want some of our stuff and you've never got it before, it's going to be gone. and then they're gone until next year. So if you want to grab Black Friday stuff, the Blackout collection, this is your only time to do it. We don't bring it back, and there's a finite amount. So get yourself something, beautify yourself, sexify your wardrobe. Nationgear.ca. It's gonna be good. I'm very, very excited about it.
Yeah, the Blackout gear is sick.
Very, very nice.
If you spend $200, you get free shipping. There you go. Started at noon, so we're 51 minutes into this thing. So get over there right after we finish the show, though. Don't leave yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else we got here? The menu tonight. No NHL games because why would you do that on a holiday?
I got football to watch.
Well, there's
I'm
NFL.
not thinking about hockey. I'm broken.
The menu brought to you by DoorDash.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. Nation 25 promo code. All caps on that too. If you want to go use that. 3 NFL games today. One of them happening right now.
How's it going?
Wish it was going better. Green Bay is up 29-14 to the Lions with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
God, Liam.
In the third, not ideal, but then we have the Washington Commanders, Dallas Cowboys at 2:30, and then the 49ers and Seahawks at 6:20 tonight. So Thanksgiving always pretty good. No show tomorrow, but obviously the Oilers play. We'll have a watch along. Aaron will have pregame with Bordy, and we'll also have After Dark, which will be with probably a couple of cast members.
We all know. It's whoever I craft the watch
whoever
party.
Sits on the chairs here, I guess, after the
first
game.
come, first serve.
Yeah, so there you go. Dolphins Jets tomorrow too during the Oilers game, so you won't be able to watch it because you'll be watching us on the Oilersnation YouTube from 1 to 3:30ish.
Yeah, roughly.
Somewhere around there. We'll be in and out. They'll be.
I always say After Dark starts usually 3-ish hours.
Yeah.
After.
So on the watch along, I'll be there for sure. Aaron will be there. I believe Coom will be there.
Coombsy will be there.
Kennedy will be there.
Kennedy, Dan. There'll be a bunch of us.
Yep. Gang's all here.
The gang's all here.
He's all here.
Moving along. Wendy's. We got the Survivor game over at dailyfaceoff.com.
I got kicked out early this week.
I lost on the opening day.
Yeah, as did I.
I bet Elias Pettersson 1 point against San Jose Sharks.
I also did that.
How did he not get one?
All I want is a barbecue bacon cheeseburger.
I know. But
That's all I want.
I want to win it.
But I want to earn it.
Yeah, I want to earn it. I want to win
buy
it. Like, and to get knocked out on day one is very, very troubling.
Do you know the worst part about it is, so we did that one on a show and I said, I'm not betting on an Oilers one because it was McDavid 1.5 points. And Jay said, I'm going down with the Oilers ship and I'm going McDavid 1.5 points. And what did he do? Scored 2 goals against Florida Panthers and moved Jay along in the competition. You can play every week. So even if you're out this week, you can just go and play Mondays and prepare for that. Do a little bit of research. But Aaron, do we have the picks for today?
We sure do.
Let's see what we've got here. So the Anaheim Ducks over.
Or this would be
one power play
This
goal
would
or
be
more.
for Friday, right? Because there's no hockey.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. I was thinking, why wouldn't this be for today?
Man, some of these are tough.
I know.
What would you go with?
I think of all of these, I don't particularly like any of them, to be honest. But if I'm going to go Kyle Connor over a half goal.
That's
Or under.
I know.
Okay, never mind. I'm off that one.
I might go Sid.
I might go Jared McCann. That's like the only one that's like really playable.
You know what?
Actually, Sid is on fire. Right?
Sid's on fire. So I don't mind that one, I should say. The Senators are so inconsistent. I'm going to go Islanders win because it's random.
That was the one I was thinking of too. I would go Crosby or Islanders. Aaron, where are you going?
Crosby. He's a legend. You ride that. He's so good still, man. His numbers, he's over a point per game. I hope he never leaves the league. It'll be a sad day when Sid the
kid.
He's not Sid the
He is a kid.
36-year-old man or whatever now.
There's multiple times through Crosby's career in Pittsburgh that they missed the playoffs too. Luckily, they have 3 Stanley Cup rings now to back it up, but happens, I guess. Last one. That way, 19
Ding
plus.
dong.
Please bet responsibly. As we said, no NHL games today, but you could bet on some football. I did. I bet the Lions live comeback. Hopefully that one recovers.
I had the Lions before, and then I come in here and
Yeah.
I see they're down, and I'm like, Liam, we live bet in the comeback. We did.
I did.
Should we throw down again?
Jameson William touchdown. No, I got to save a little bit of dough for the other games. Jameson William touchdown and Ahmad St. Brown touchdown. I believe David Montgomery just got a touchdown too. The 7.1. So what does that look in your face? All good?
I'm on Ross St. Brown. That's sick. That's
You
good.
just got a touchdown?
That's what
Oh, well, there you go. Head over to Betway. 2 more football games to come. Any
Oh, no.
final words, BM, before we wrap up the show and I thank our sponsors?
Thank you, the sponsors.
Thank you to the sponsors. Star Mechanical, Finning Cat, Nation Gear. Like I said, the deal started about an hour ago, so go get your blackout gear. Sherwood Ford in the food bank. Don't forget about that one. You can see, I think you tweeted out the other day, BM, right, of the locations.
Yeah.
So you can go find out on BM's Twitter
Yep.
as well. I'm sure it's
JSBM
on,
Bag
the,
Milk.
it's on the ON Twitter as well.
I'm
somewhere.
shadow banned, so you might not be able to find me.
I know, man. Every time I
It's
try and
such a
search you
nightmare.
for these shows, I'm like, oh, that's right. He's banned again. That's right.
I shit on Twitter Blue like 4 months ago, and it's been since then.
Crown Royal,
Ground
DoorDash,
Royal.
Greta. Might need a drink tonight.
Why? What happened?
Alberta Blue Cross, Sports Closet, Betway, and our new friends, Charm Diamond Centers. Final words, Aaron, or are we good to go?
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Actually, you won't see me tomorrow. Not on this show, anyway.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
See you, everybody. Pre-gaming tomorrow, noon. Not Tyler, Boardsy. Let's go.
Thank you for watching Oilers Nation Every Day. Hit the subscribe button to never miss a show. And for more, visit OilersNation.com.